Greetings to the 12 tribes of the children of Israel scattered abroad, in the name of Jehovah our Creator and Jesus Christ of Nazareth our King. My name is Lily of the Valley. We're just gonna do in the Duns Corner this week. So we're gonna put Liberty Daily and this reporter or lack of proper research. So it says, despite only accounting for 1.5% of lawyers, black women make up 100% of this New York Supreme Court bench. And that bench is in Manhattan, okay? So you got to put these people who do the research on blast because they have their prejudices, okay? Him say or she say, it's such an incredible coincidence that an entire Supreme Court bench is comprised of black women when they account for such a small percentage of America's lawyers. It's so incredible and so coincidental, in fact, that one might even call it suspicious. Because these people not give the queens of the Most High no credit. They not give the prophetesses no credit. They don't give black women no credit. So everything we do and our people do, it must be incredible, or it must be, what they call it, affirmative action, or a whole bunch of things like that. But of course, that's not true. So this person said 1.5% of lawyers are black women. The LSAT score average is white test takers 153, Asian test takers 153, black test takers 152. Then them go on for say, an entire New York State Supreme Court bench is comprised of black women. The mathematical probability of this being random and biased based on merit is literally zero. So that's where we're going to prove this person wrong. Okay? First and foremost, we're going to go and do some research. You're going to look at what is the LSAT score. Okay? And things like that. Hold on. So this is the women.
Justice of the Appellate Division, Supreme Court, first Department, DDE, all persons have business with the appellate are here, attended, and you shall be heard.
All rise. This all-African-American bench, which happens to have all women, fittingly taking place during Black History Month, presiding Justice Diane Renwick and Justices Troy Weber, Tanya Kennedy, Bahati Pitt Burke, and Marcia Michael, hearing oral arguments today before the Appellate Division, 1st Judicial Department in Manhattan. When we come back...
All right, so we're going to look at the details. All right, so we're going to start with what is the LSAT. Notice they put the average for white and Asian and black, and they put 3 scores. So you're going to look at what is a good LSAT score. A good LSAT score can be at least 160 or above. The middle score 150, but it can also be as high as 180. And this is to become a lawyer. Okay, that's what the LSAT score is. It can also be a low or range of 120 to 180. So all the women that he put for average black women, they pass them score, right? Become a lawyer. So you can check the box that they did it based on merit. And it also says there is no failing or passing score on the LSAT, but your score is more than simply the number of questions you got right or wrong. It's slightly more complicated because, as you know, law is complicated. A whole bunch of stuff go into practicing law and judges and ruling and all of that. So the next thing you're going to look at is Manhattan's black population. So they say this could never be done based on merit. So in Manhattan, you're going to see the census, right? It have, according to the 2009 American Community Survey, white Americans make up 58.9% of Manhattan's population. Non-Hispanic whites make up 50.7%. Black Americans make up 15.5% of Manhattan's population. Non-Hispanic blacks make up 13% of the population. So when you add those two together, you got a size of a black proportion in Manhattan. Okay, you can stop it and read it through at any time. So we already know enough black people dead. So it's a black Americans make up about 15.5% of the borough's population. So the next thing you're going to look at now is the enrollment in school in terms of law. Okay, Manhattan black female enrollment in law school degrees. 2023 law school rankings by female enrollment gender ratios. Okay, it says women outnumbered men for the 8th year in a row in law school classrooms. How many years in a row you have more women that go do law than men? 8 years. And it tells you a complete look at the gender demographics of the U.S. law schools. And you can pull that up and look at it. Women make up majority of U.S. law students for the first time. That's even way back in 2016. Okay. So the next thing you're going to look at is the Journal of Blacks in Higher Education. Black women students far outnumber black men at the nation's highest ranked universities. So it'll give you a breakdown. It says black women hold a large lead over black men in almost every facet of higher education. Black women currently earn about 2/3 of all African American bachelor's degree awards, 70% of all master's degrees, and more than 60% of all doctorates. Black women also hold a majority of all African American enrollments in law, medical, and dental schools. That is true too. When you go in the hospitals, you see a lot of black doctors, a lot of black nurses. A lot of them are females. Okay, so if the men want to go and idle, the women don't have to do that and follow them. They still have their households to take care of. So the next thing you look at is the Bible prophecy. Okay, because the black women are negresses. They hail from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's their four parents. Okay, what was the prophecy that Isaiah said that's going to happen to the men, the children of Israel, when the men don't do what the Most High ordained them to do? It says in Isaiah 3 verse 12, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and to destroy the way of thy past. The Lord standeth up to plead, and standeth to judge the people. The Lord will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people, and the princes thereof. For ye have eaten up the vineyard, and the spoil of the poor is in your houses." These black men, and a lot of the women too, they sell out the entire nations of the children of Israel for their own pleasures and their own benefits and their own lusts. They go after women all over the world who the Most already told them not to marry, and because the wealth is going to go from the tribes. They go and they do like Solomon did, and they perish for it. So not just America, you can look at a snapshot of what it is like for the women of Israel or the daughters of Zion internationally. And Jamaica, for example, is the capital of Christendom. They have more churches per square mile than any other place on earth. And Christ sent the apostles to find the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So that's why we have so many churches as well. So in Jamaica, you have Paula Llewellyn. She is the first, she's a Jamaican lawyer, and she serves as the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, in the country, in the office since 2008. She is the first woman to hold the position. Llewellyn was born at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital in Kingston, one of the 4 children of Mavis and Clinton. Before we became DPP and stuff, we were judges. Look at Judith, warriors in the Bible, Deborah the judge, Huldah the prophetess at the college. You know, St. Hilda's High School for girls, we have some big up name, you know. And this on the name come from some of the great women in the scripture. So Paula Llewellyn, she's Director of the Public Prosecution in Jamaica. She's the head. Okay? That's what that means. She's female. She's black too. Yeah. Then you can look what happened at Texas. 17 black women sweep judgeships in Texas County. 17 one time, Harris County. That was November 12, 2018. So the women are also not just in Texas and New York and in Jamaica. They're all over the earth. The ones who go to school, get a higher education, they're going to come back and be your bosses. So it is on merit. They work for it. They got it. The next thing is Jamaica tops the list of countries with the most female managers in the earth. And you have St. Lucia too. Yeah. And a lot of the Caribbean countries, the women do extremely well because they go to school, they taking them lesson, them not the one side of the road a twiddle them thumb and a smoke weed and a skull school. They go and they take in their lessons and they become very excellent women leader. You have the leader of the Jamaica Defence Force, I think her name is Antonette and something Wemyss. I'll look it up. I'll put it in the description box. She's the head of Jamaica Defence Forces. So if the men don't do what the Most High Jehovah tell them to do, the women go and do it. And if the women don't do it, the children will do it. Look, Nanny of the Maroons. She's a warrior. She's the queen who defeat the British. She and her brother them. Hey, look at Miriam. She was there as a general and a prophetess with Moses and Aaron. That's the lineage that we come from. So all of that is on merit and it's in our bloodline. So Jamaica has the highest proportion of women managers on earth. And then in terms of where the women most likely to be your boss, you can look at statistica.com, where women are most likely to be your boss. Rwanda, they have a very high percentage of women candidates in their parliament. The highest proportion in the world. This is another black country. So Rwanda's legislature is majority female. Here's how it happened. Invest in your women and your girls and your country and your education system and you will get the same results. Don't hate. Don't say it's not based on merit. It was already prophesied in the scriptures that the princes, the Most High, going to deal with those men. They want to rule countries based on their loins and their flesh and their sorceries and their greed and all of that. I'm not saying the women are not part of that too, because you see a lot of that. The Democrats and so on use a lot of these black women in America and a lot of these black men to front them to do all kind of degeneracy, kill their children, promote abortion and stuff like that. So they're also gonna pay because the Most High says offenses will come, but woe to those through whom the offenses come. And most of them in a church I read up them Bible, but then I read what go come to them when them not do what the Most High say. Psalm 2, remember that. Okay. Psalm 1 as well. So Rwanda also has a very high percentage of women in government. That's also another black country. So black women, go back to righteousness, go back to holiness, go back to being who the Most High called you to be, and there's no limit to what you can accomplish. There are many women before you in the scriptures that were great, because the Most High will choose the best person he sees at the point in time in history that will do what he wants done. We work for Jehovah. Jesus Christ of Nazareth is our king. We're queens. We're kingdom-based societies, okay? Theocracy. Our laws come from Jehovah, okay? So it's not surprising that so many black women are judges. And I pray that they will judge righteously, not according to politicians that pay them or grease their palms. Like you see those things happening in Georgia and the elections, and they are feminists and they promote not to have families anymore. Those women gonna pay for that too. You see the bald head and the things happening with them womb and all of that stuff. You can read Isaiah 2, Isaiah chapter 3 and chapter 4. Yeah, the women, they gonna pay for their sins too. So men, get back into the role that the Most High gave you, and you won't have to be wondering if it's by merit, because the women are putting in the time. They're taking care of the children, they're taking care of the countries, they're doing the research, they're doing the teaching. They have a lot on their shoulders, and they're supposed to be a helpmeet for the male. But where are the male? Some of them want to be polygamous, swordom, ganja smoker, weed smoker. Lord, help us. Forgive us, Lord, because we perish because of lack of knowledge. So with this I say shalom. Have a wonderful day.